If you were born in the 90s, you've likely spent the last decade perfecting a persona that looks great on a screen, but feels hollow in your chest. You followed the rules, checked the boxes, and yet, there's a nagging sense that you're living someone else's life while your true self-discovery sits on the shelf. The truth is, the quarter-life crisis isn't a failure. It's actually the first call of individuation screaming for your attention. Most people will tell you to just work harder. But I'm here to tell you that your greatest obstacle isn't the economy. It's the shadow you're too afraid to look at. Today, we're going to stop the performance and look into the mirror of Carl Jung to find the version of you that's been waiting to be born. Have you ever noticed how a specific coworker's loud laugh or a friend's constant procrastination seems to get under your skin more than it should? It's almost as if their presence triggers a storm inside you that you can't quite explain or suppress. Carl Jung suggested that these intense irritations are rarely about the other person, but are actually a profound encounter with your own shadow. What you are truly witnessing is a repressed part of your own psychology, a hidden mirror reflecting the traits you've spent a lifetime trying to disown or hide away. Think of it like this. If you find yourself deeply annoyed by someone's laziness, it might be because you never allow yourself to rest, or perhaps you secretly envy their freedom to begin the work of self-discovery. Try this simple exercise. The next time someone triggers you, stop and ask, in what small way do I behave like this? Or wish I could? By acknowledging this hidden side, you reclaim the energy spent on anger and turn it into fuel for personal growth. It is the first step toward a more integrated life. When you finally stop fighting the reflection in the mirror, a strange and beautiful thing happens. The world around you becomes significantly quieter and much calmer. You begin to realize that the people in your life aren't just obstacles. They are actually unconscious guides helping you navigate your own internal landscape. Integrating these darker fragments of the shadow is a courageous act that prevents you from projecting your insecurities onto those you love. It's like cleaning a foggy window. Suddenly, you can see everyone, including yourself, with much more clarity. This process of looking inward is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey of understanding how we present ourselves to the world and what we keep tucked away in the dark. Once you start recognizing these patterns, you'll find that your reactions become choices rather than automatic reflexes. You're no longer a victim of your environment, but a student of your own mind, slowly moving toward a state of true individuation. But as you peel back these layers of who you think you are, you'll inevitably run into the different roles you play every single day. Every day, we step onto the stage of life and reach for a specific mask. Whether we realize it or not, this is what Carl Jung called the persona, a social skin we wear to protect our inner selves while navigating the demands of the world. Think of it as your work hat or your professional face. It's that polished version of you that knows exactly how to speak in meetings or charm a room. This is actually a very helpful tool for psychology, as it allows us to get along with others without exposing our most vulnerable parts to every stranger. However, the danger arises when you forget that the mask isn't the real you, leading to a profound sense of exhaustion and disconnect. If you've ever felt like a fraud even when you're succeeding, it might be because your persona has become too thick, suffocating the real me hidden underneath. To keep your balance, try a decompression ritual when you get home. Literally take off your watch or change your clothes to signal to your brain that the performance is over. Spend 10 minutes doing something only you love, like listening to a specific jazz record or tending to a plant, to reconnect with your essence. By learning to intentionally set aside these social roles, you invite a deep sense of happiness and relaxation back into your daily life. It's about being an introvert or an extrovert by choice, rather than being stuck in a character that no longer fits your soul. When you find the courage to be yourself when the day is over, you stop performing for an audience and start living for your own personal growth. This authenticity is the secret sauce to feeling truly grounded and at peace with the life you are building. The more you align your inner truth with your outer actions, the more you'll find that life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a flow. You'll begin to notice that when you are truly you, the universe seems to respond in the most unexpected and bizarrely perfect ways. It's as if by dropping the act, you finally tuned into a frequency where the world can actually reach out and talk back to you. These strange, meaningful moments start popping up everywhere, almost like the world is winking at you when you least expect it. Have you ever found yourself thinking about an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, only for your phone to buzz with a text from them 5 minutes later? Carl Jung called these moments synchronicity, or meaningful coincidences that defy the standard laws of cause and effect. It is as if the boundary between your inner psychology and the outer world temporarily dissolves, providing a high five from the universe. These aren't just random glitches in the matrix, they are signposts on your journey of self-discovery, suggesting that your internal state is perfectly aligned with the world around you. When these winks from the world occur, it is a signal to stop, take a breath, and pay very close attention to your current path. For instance, if you are debating a career change and suddenly see a book about that exact field in a coffee shop, don't just shrug it off as luck. To practice this, keep a small sync journal on your bedside table, like a classic moleskin, to jot down these odd occurrences the moment they happen. By documenting these events, you train your mind to be more observant, fostering a sense of personal growth that feels guided rather than forced. Paying attention to these patterns helps you realize that you aren't just a lonely observer in a cold universe, but a participant in a grand symbolic dance. This shift in perspective is a massive catalyst for individuation, as it reminds you that there is a deeper rhythm to your life than just the daily grind. You'll start to feel a sense of reassurance that you are exactly where you need to be. Even if the destination isn't quite clear yet, it turns the mundane into the magical, making your pursuit of truth feel supported by something much larger than yourself. As you become more attuned to these external signals, you'll naturally start to look inward at the engine that drives your daily experience. You'll notice that your ability to even perceive these winks often depends on how much fuel you have in your internal tank. Just as the world has its own timing, your soul has its own way of recharging and processing the vast amount of information it takes in. Understanding whether you thrive in the spotlight or the silence is the next vital piece of your unique psychological puzzle. Every person you meet carries an invisible energy battery, but the way we charge them varies wildly from soul to soul. Carl Jung observed that some of us are naturally an extrovert, drawing vitality from the buzz of a crowd and the heat of social interaction. Others are built as an introvert, requiring the sacred silence of their own thoughts to recover from the world's noise. If you find yourself feeling grumpy or inexplicably drained after a day at the office, it isn't a character flaw. It's simply a sign that your psychology is running on empty because you're charging it the wrong way. Understanding your specific orientation is a game changer for your personal growth and your relationships with those you love. If you're more of a quiet soul, don't feel guilty about skipping a loud party to read a profound book like Man and His Symbols. It is literally your medicine. To keep your battery healthy, try the Power Hour technique. Set aside 60 minutes each day to either engage deeply with a friend or retreat into total solitude. Depending on what your heart craves, this conscious management of your spirit ensures you have a surplus of love and patience to give back to your family and friends. When you finally honor your natural temperament, you stop fighting against the grain of your own nature and start living with more ease. You'll find that you no longer need to apologize for being too quiet or too loud, because you understand the mechanics of your own self-discovery. This clarity allows you to navigate the world with a sense of authority and calm that few people ever truly master. It is about moving from a state of constant depletion to a state of vibrant, sustainable energy that supports your entire life's mission. Once you've mastered the art of managing your internal energy, you'll find you have the strength to face the bigger, more daunting questions of existence. You stop merely surviving day to day and begin to look at the larger architecture of who you are becoming. This self-awareness acts as a bridge, leading you toward the most important project you will ever undertake, the assembly of your own soul. It is a slow, meticulous process of finding where every stray piece of your history and your hope truly belongs. During your youth, you likely spent most of your time trying to fit into the molds created by your parents, teachers, and society. But as you cross the threshold into your 30s, a quiet, persistent voice often emerges from your psychology asking, "Who am I really?" Carl Jung called this the process of individuation, the ultimate journey of becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's like being handed a 1,000-piece puzzle of your soul, where every day you uncover a new fragment of your true dreams and your authentic voice. This transition isn't just about aging. It's a deliberate phase of personal growth where you stop being a carbon copy and start becoming an original. To aid this, try the values audit. Write down 5 things you were told to care about as a child, and then list 5 things that actually make your heart race today. If there's a gap, that is where your work lies. By consciously choosing your own path, you move closer to self-discovery, shedding the skin of who you were told to be to reveal the masterpiece underneath. Putting this puzzle together is how you finally become a grown-up who is truly at peace with the world and the shadow within. It is a courageous act of integration where you stop hiding your quirks and start embracing them as vital parts of your character. You'll find that as you align with your true self, your relationships become deeper and your work feels more like a calling than a chore. This isn't just a life hack. It is the sacred mission of your life, leading you toward a state of wholeness that few ever reach. As you begin to feel the pieces clicking into place, you realize that every struggle and every mask you wore was simply a preparation for this moment. You are no longer just reacting to life. You are creating it from a place of deep, internal authority. This sense of peace is the ultimate reward for the hard work of looking inward and facing the depths of your own mind. You stand now at the edge of a new understanding, ready to see your entire history through a completely different lens, now that we've walked through the dark forests of the shadow and unmasked the many faces of your persona. The real question remains, what are you going to do with this light? You spent years wondering why life felt like a puzzle with missing pieces, but now you see that those pieces were hidden in your own psychology all along. Carl Jung didn't leave us these maps just so we could admire the landscape. He left them so we could have the courage to walk the path of individuation. Will you continue to let your life be a series of accidents? Or will you start paying attention to the synchronicity that is trying to lead you home? The journey of personal growth is not for the faint of heart, but for those born in a generation caught between the old world and the digital void. It is the only path that offers true meaning. Are you brave enough to look at the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime judging? Can you handle the weight of becoming who you actually are, rather than who you were programmed to be? This is your invitation to step out of the crowd and into the sunlight of your own self-discovery. Don't let this be just another video you watch and forget. Let it be the moment the real you finally wakes up. If you feel that spark of recognition in your soul, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. We are diving deep into the unconscious every week, and you won't want to miss the next breakthrough. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which part of your shadow have you been avoiding the most? Let's start the conversation and build this puzzle together.